Всем привет, мы продолжаем проходить Enderal и поехали.
Well, what do you think? I brought you here. After you broke into my sanctum and made your little journey into the realm of the dead. Please, don't look at me like that. I knew what you were up to from the start. Sadly enough, I did. No, you don't. Because you don't dare to question. Peculiar situation, all of this, isn't it? Suddenly you, the fugitive urchin, become mankind's salvation. And suddenly, just like that, out of nowhere, you can perform feats others would require decades to master. Even better, you're one of the emissaries, who can hear the echo of the future. But still, you never asked yourself why. You're right, I do. But if there's one thing time has taught me, there are things one has to realize for him or herself. You can't force insight on people. It has never worked, and it never will. Who am I? Back then, I might have given you an impressive response to that. But at this time, I couldn't say anything that would help you. Let's just say I'm an observer. A fleshless eye, if you prefer. In this era, you might also know me as the Aged Man. Amongst other things, yes, the cycle. Yes, and I'm certain that irritates you. But timelessness isn't that much of a feat. You will find that out yourself, soon enough, too. Believe me, all I say is quite thought through. But unfortunately, there's no point in pursuing this conversation any further. You have what you came for, and the rest is up to you. Even though I doubt it will make much of a difference. Maybe you could do just that, but time will tell. Now, forgive me.
You? But what the heck was that? Where's the manor? Try me. Any explanation's better than none. Uh-huh. That sounds strange, to say the least. After you went down that shaft, someone locked the door to the study. And I couldn't get it open, no matter what I tried. Well, a couple hours later, I found myself face down in a puddle of mud. But anyway, these glyphs you drew on paper look good to me. So at least officially, this mission was a success. I only wish I could... Hang on. You see that? What's that? Casket? But where's this noise coming from? This is it? But then the aged man left it on purpose. For us. Whew. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but it seems to me as if this fellow knew a lot more than we did from the start. Still, we should take this thing with us. Let's go back to Ark and report to the Grand Master. I've got a scroll right here with me. What do you say? Well then, let's go. Suggest you go inside and tell the Grand Master what happened. Then give him the casket. I'll go grab my pay now, and then I'll head back to the tavern. I guess I need a good pipe. For some reason, I can't get these puppets out of my head. They remind me of something, though I don't know what exactly. Anyway, see you around.
Prophetess, were you successful? Then tell me. So he knew about the cycle. That's disquieting and interesting. Yes. Maybe that's an attempt to help us. He's not against us, because if he were, he wouldn't have let you out alive. I bet that the Lightborn also knew more about the aged man than they told us. This explains why Malphas told the Order specifically not to bother him. But we will discuss his identity another time. What matters is that you were able to find the missing glyphs, and that we now have this relic, however useful it will be in the future. Bring both of them to the Archmagister so that we can activate the sigil stone. Oh, and one more thing. What did the Pyreans in your memory call those behind the cleansing? The High Ones? Good. Then the enemy has a name now. Come back to me once you've talked to Maragil. There has been another disquieting development.
Huh? What? You mean the living dead, the Watirs everywhere, the frenzied civilians? I'd say this country's seen better times.
Jarem Dorba Nubis, Locarem Tares.
Blasted blistering blazes! You sound like a boozed-up poet. This is supposed to be magic?
Entropy is a dangerous school, my sir. One false word and the stone could burst into flames.
Well, keep up this babble, and he might do it on purpose. You godlams are just missing the pepper, even when you're doing magic.
Pepper? Magic needs to have prudence, not pepper. She's like a sick frog. If you... Prophetess, you're back.
Sun be praised. Working with these fumblers is harder than teaching complex mathematics to a Leor. The Scrounger already told me about your success. Good work. Have you got the glyphs? Yes, just show me already. Yes, that does make sense. Step back, I'll show you how this works. Jarem Dorba Nubis, Locarem Taris Danida, Sharak Lishamra.
By the righteous path. Are you feeling this?
Yes, this is impressive. Truly impressive. Are those the shards?
They're certainly not your underpants, are they? According to the Piraean writings, these shards offered protection against the Red Madness, as long as the sigil stone remains active. Prophetess, you're the one who found the missing glyphs, so you should go first. Go on, touch one of the shards. So, how do you feel? Very well. Then let's hope that this sigil stone lives up to its promise. Boy, go and tell the quartermaster that every keeper, as well as each one of us, is to be wearing one of these fragments by nightfall.
Boy!
Buzz off.
My sir, I really don't think this...
Do what he says, Legion. That is not how you will make friends here, Firespark. Not at all.
If it were friends I was looking for, I certainly wouldn't be here. Once again, good work. Old Aranthiel asked me to give you that, so you could buy better equipment. Now go back to him. Something disquieting has happened.
It's dark.
Man, this just doesn't make any sense. Why can't it ever
Hello.
be easy? Yes. Yes, that just...
Is it now?
This feeling just now. That was the sigil stone, wasn't it? Very good. With the beacon and the sigil stone, we now have both a sword and shield against these High Ones. That is more than I had hoped for. However, there has also been a disquieting development. I have called in a conclave, and it will take place in a day. Come back then, and use the time to rest.
Huh?
My dear.
My job.
Now look at that. It's the Prodigy. Not much. We haven't yet heard from the keepers old Aranthiel sent overseas, but their armory and weapons seem to belong to an order of mercenaries who normally operate in Nerem or Kira. We'll see. Question of the century. Honestly, I don't know. We might as well be chasing a phantasm. But at this point, it seems to me that the beacon is some kind of channeling device. Sounds confusing, I know, but it reacts very strongly to any magically charged object. But as to how this will serve us against the High Ones, that remains to be seen.
Yeah, it's not as if I didn't tell them that already.
Yes?
Walk blessed, my lady. Where do you need to go?
Walk blessed, dear traveler. You probably don't know this, but unfortunately the street you're walking on is owned by the Honorable Monsieur Croco. And sadly, he himself has ordered that all wanderers must pay a fee so that we can keep the streets in good condition. So please, be so kind and pay. That will save both of us the trouble. A wise decision. We'll put your pennies to good use. Until next time.
That wasn't the wind.
You'll regret this, you son of a bitch!
fucking scum! You paid for that! No!
Yeah, it's not as if I didn't tell them. Already.
Hello.
Fruit, vegetables, bread, everything.
May your
Yes?
Madame.
Where is this supposed to be? So he knows what he's doing.
Walk blessed.
Yes? Well, as I told you, I was never very popular with the other novices. You know, the novitiate was very challenging. The magisters only rarely gave us days off to contemplate, as they called it. The others usually used it to go to the tavern to gamble and drink. I never really liked that kind of pastime, and I still don't. I've never really thought about things like that. You know, life in the temple is quite secluded, and I doubt there are many men or women who would find my way of living attractive. But forgive me, that's very personal. I don't really want to talk about it. That's true, but when I feel the need to relax, I prefer taking a stroll or spending time in the baths. Whatever secret there is about relaxing to loud music, raucous shouting, and alcohol is beyond me. Well, what should I think about them? They're disquieting. Speaking of which, recently there's been word from the League of Apothecari up north. They say that their studies on the Red Madness haven't borne fruit yet, and that it is like no disease they've ever encountered. Honestly, that has rid me of the last of my doubts about the cycle being real, just as the Grandmaster said. Let's just hope we can find out how to stop it. Tattoo? Ah, of course, you mean my mark. I've had that for as long as I can remember, and I don't have the slightest idea as to how I got it. It does. You're the first to tell me that, but thanks, I guess. No, it isn't. It's just there, that's all. That's what Tyrus said too. But if it has a meaning, it's obscure.
I couldn't find anything in the books, and the Magisters couldn't put their fingers on it either. Not without leaving a bad scar, at least according to the apothecary. And even if that weren't the case, I don't know if I'd want it gone. It reminds me of something.
This is too dangerous, whatever they want here. If we send spies and they get caught, Nerim will see this as a provocation.
Poor, poor people. All they did was invade a foreign country, and look how ruthless we are, sending spies in order to find out why they're here. We should be ashamed.
Save the sarcasm. We both know what I mean. You know my opinion, Tila.
I will consider it. You come at the right time, Prophetess. Commander, explain the situation.
Of course, Grandmaster. Yesterday, we received word from one of our outposts in Duneville. One of the fishermen there saw warships anchoring on an island some miles from shore. And they bear the Nerimese flag.
We have already sent scouts to confirm this, and it is true. The Nerimese have invaded our land. We have a suspicion. I suppose you know that the civil war in Nerim has ended 2 months ago. And who won it? The combined forces of the Northern and the Middle Realm, led by Taranor Korek of Kabait. The Southern rebels and the remnants of the Creator's Temple have been destroyed, once and for all. Now Nerim has been united under the banner of the Free People of Nerim, how they like to call themselves. And this could be the reason for these warships. Because of this Koarek.
It is said that he helped Narathzul Aranthiel shortly before the Lightborn were slain. And while before that, he was an opportunist who changed his ideals as often as his underpants. It seems that his crusade with Narathzul converted him, so to speak. He has become a declared enemy of religion.
He also thinks of the death of the gods as the first step of many. And now he sees it his task to rid Vin of religion once and for all. Free the world from the scourge of faith. These are his words.
Though it is worth mentioning that his understanding of freeing includes mass executions and the burning down of temples. He's a fanatic. And worse, his men worship him for it. What he wants is to found a new world, and his free people of Nerim are supposed to be vanguard of it. Well, with the small but subtle difference that it was Narazul's vision to restore the human right of self-determination, and not to obliterate every kind of superstition or spirituality.
It is plain stupid to believe a way of thinking can be beaten out of someone's head with just enough violence. The only thing that does is radicalize. Though a world without religion would be a better one, that's without doubt.
Nonsense. The people need a higher power that guides them. You can see what chaos the death of the Lightborn brought on the world, and without your orders doing, all this would never have happened.
Of course. Where were we? Not much. Or... yes, there is. He's a narcissist. I was surprised to hear that the banners of his free people are ornamented with a picture of his and an inscription saying, "Praise me." Correct.
What Korek doesn't understand is that we're doing this to prevent a crisis. Not before the High Ones have been stopped. The civil war on Kile, Nerim, and Arazial shows what chaos such a revelation can cause. And we will not take this risk. That is the problem. Pigast?
We believe that Korek already knows about the cycle and the cleansing. And that he, how should I put it, wants it to happen. I'm afraid so. I know how strange this sounds, but in a way it makes sense. For him, Enderal as the home of the Holy Order is the epitome of ignorance and stagnation. And we suppose he even knows that we are fighting these High Ones. But in his eyes, everything a paragon of the Old Order tries to prevent from happening must be something good. Maybe he even sees the High Ones as prophets of his new era. Who knows? Fanatics are unpredictable.
Right now, this is only an assumption, but we have to know. Yes. Do you know what a silver plate is? Good. Then you know that they possess the power to transfer sound from one plate to the other. Our plan is to place 2 of the plates in their camp. That way we can sound them out without risk. You, Firespark, and the mercenary, Dalvarek. However, you cannot travel to the island by ship. That would be too conspicuous.
We found out that the Pyreans had some kind of underground transporting system. Undertrains, that's what they called them. These trains connected the most important regions of the realm with each other, and thus probably also the temple on the island where Korek's ships set anchor. If we can manage to find one of these trains, we could use them to get right to his camp. And, as it happens, we have information about a Pyrean temple in the Crystal Forest. One that is still intact enough for us to find a way into one of these trains.
The Living Temple.
That's how you call it, yes. But enough of the chit-chat. First of all, we need to find the gem that is used to open the gate of the temple. And I have a guess where we could find it. A village called Fogville, not far from the Whisperwood. As soon as possible. Joseph the mercenary has already traveled to Fogville, and you should do the same. I will meet you there.
So we are talking about accomplished facts, or what?
It is the only way. I'm sorry, Natara. Prophetess, I'm counting on you. Find out why Korek is here.
Blasted blistering blazes! What the heck took you so long? We've been waiting for ages.
But you only just...
What matters now is that we find the gem that opens the temple doors. You two take care of that. I'll go ahead to the temple and inspect the gate. Any questions? No? Then beat it.
It helps to know what something looks like if you're supposed to find it. At least that's what I've been told.
A small, red gem. If it's around here somewhere, and I'm quite certain it is, you should maybe search for it at the village treasury. Now get going. I'll see you at the temple.
And lo and behold, from one crazy mission into the other. Huh? About Fogville? Yeah, quite a lot actually. The story's always fascinated me. You haven't heard of it, I take it. What do you want to know? Yeah, and that's about what happened. How can I say this without going beyond the scope? The short version, the villagers lost their minds. It all started when they officially renounced Malphas and the righteous path. Then, more and more travelers started disappearing, and surprisingly, a lot of their corpses were found close to the village, dumped in the forest like slaughtered cattle. That was when the Order couldn't ignore this issue any longer and sent a division of guards to end the madness, whatever that's supposed to look like. But when these guards arrived, they were greeted by frenzied villagers, who were armed to the teeth and jumped on the guards like rabid dogs. Most of them were killed, but one made it back to the temple. Well, and that's almost the end of the story. When the guards returned, they were almost the size of an army, but still the villagers charged right at them. You can imagine the result. As I said, they were mad, and this is also how they fought, regardless of the consequences. Plus, this place isn't exactly easily charged. Just look at all the walls. It's almost a fortress. Yes, it was. It turned out they sacrificed them. Later, when the Order searched Fogville for what could have caused all this, they found a hidden hexagonal room in the temple, which looked like the Fogvillers built it themselves. It was strange. There were exactly 6 paintings, one on each wall, and they all depicted unholy scenes, whatever that may mean. Anyway, it seemed that the travelers were sacrificed there. Heck knows why. Well, the most common one is the proximity to the Whisperwood. We all know what these spores do to the human mind. So maybe unfavorable winds over several moons? Who knows? At least that's the official explanation. Some conspiracy theorists see a connection to the Butcher of Ark. Exactly. Strange guy, to say the least. You know, shortly before he killed himself, he left an autobiography. And even though the Order officially forbids owning it, there are collectors who established an entire cult around that Tannerson character. There's a lot of speculation going on about this entire myth, and some of it's quite bizarre and morbid, if you ask me. Anyway. Keep your chin up.